Welcome back to our channel. Today we embark on one of the most significant events in modern history. The fall of the Soviet Union and its role in ending the Cold War. How did the once mighty superpower dissolve? And what were the events leading up to this dramatic transformation? Let's dig deep into this fascinating story. To understand the fall of the Soviet Union, we must first grasp the context of the Cold War, which began shortly after World War II in the late 1940s. This ideological conflict pitted the capitalist West, led by the United States, against the communist East, spearheaded by the Soviet Union. As tensions escalated, the world experienced multiple crises, from the Berlin blockade to the Cuban Missile Crisis. Fast forward to the 1980s. Enter Mikhail Gorbachev, the last General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, who aimed to revitalize the crumbling economy and society. His policies, known as Perestroika, restructuring, and Glasnost, openness, sought to introduce limited market reforms and greater transparency. While well-intentioned, these reforms sparked unforeseen consequences. As Gorbachev's reforms began to unravel long-standing communist controls, nationalist movements flourished within the USSR. Ethnic groups in the Baltic states, Ukraine and Georgia began to assert their identities, demanding independence. By the late 1980s, protests erupted, fueled by growing dissatisfaction and calls for democratic reforms. Throughout Eastern Europe, revolutionary changes were unfolding. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 marked a pivotal moment in history, symbolizing the dismantling of Soviet influence. For Eastern Europeans, it represented newfound freedom and hope. This event sent shockwaves throughout the USSR, further igniting aspirations for independence among Soviet republics. In August 1991, hardliners within the Soviet government attempted a coup to oust Gorbachev, fearing that his reforms were leading to the empire's disintegration. However, Boris Yeltsin, the president of the Russian Republic, rallied the public against the coup. His defiance with the people proved crucial. Thousands protested the coup, standing strong in defense of democracy. This legendary moment, marked by Yeltsin's defiance, essentially ended the coup in just 3 days. The defeat of the coup revealed the weakening grip of communist hardliners and hastened the disintegration of the Soviet Union. By December 1991, the situation had escalated to a breaking point. The leaders of Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus met and declared that the Soviet Union no longer existed. Gorbachev officially resigned as president of the Soviet Union on December 25, 1991, effectively marking the end of a superpower that had dominated global politics for nearly half a century. 15 republics would go on to become independent nations. With the fall of the Soviet Union came an era of transition for former Soviet republics. Many experienced a surge of nationalism and celebrated their independence, but along with that came significant challenges: economic hardship, political instability, and rising tensions. The shift from a centrally planned economy to market economies was often tumultuous, leading to poverty and corruption. The fall of the Soviet Union marked not only the end of a regime, but also a significant shift in global power dynamics. It brought about the end of the Cold War and unleashed a wave of democratic movements across Eastern Europe. The world witnessed the emergence of new geopolitical realities, including the expansion of NATO and the European Union, prompting both hope and concern in the international community. As we conclude our exploration of the fall of the Soviet Union, it's essential to reflect on its impact on today's world. From international relations to cultural exchanges, the echoes of this transformative era continue to shape our global landscape. The rise and fall of empires remind us that history is an ever-evolving narrative fraught with lessons and legacies. If you found this exploration of the fall of the Soviet Union engaging, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more fascinating historical insights, and share your thoughts in the comments. What aspect of the Soviet Union's dissolution intrigues you most? We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for joining us in this deep dive into the fall of the Soviet Union. As we reflect on this historic moment, remember that the stories of the past continue to shape our present and future. Keep exploring, stay curious, and we'll see you on our next adventure. Click the links to continue your exploration of history with more fascinating videos, and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated with new content. Your journey into the past doesn't have to end here.